Willie D live.
What's up, family? We have an Oakland County man who was charged with murder, assault with intent to murder, and several weapons charges after some young men broke into his garage, his detached garage, and tried to steal his property. Yeah, fam, I want y'all to check out this video, leave your comments, and I'll come back with mine and more details.
This is a very difficult case because you do have some empathy and sympathy for the defendant, understanding that his property had been broken into. The testimony looks like at least twice prior to this incident. Understanding, and there could have certainly been some real fear on that evening, but the court also notes that the law does not allow you to use deadly force to protect your property. In this particular case, it was a detached garage. The defendant in this case put himself in the situation. The self-defense argument becomes more difficult when the video shows and the evidence shows that he shot into the garage blindly twice before any of the people, the burglars or the people inside, exited. The video, the evidence, that being the video, clearly shows that he was shooting at the people who were inside in the garage, the people who were attempting to burgle the garage. He was shooting at them as they were running away. So that, in and of itself, is certainly probable cause to show that he did intend great bodily harm.
Okay, youngsters, listen up. Y'all better find something to do, something constructive to do. If you plan on living, if you like the idea of breathing, you better find you something constructive to do. And you don't have any excuses. There's so many options. Y'all have way more options than we had. You can find something to do. You want to make some money. It's so easy to make money these days, but you got to be willing to put in the work. And I'm just going to keep it buck, fam. A lot of these youngsters are just lazy. A lot of them are entitled. They want it, but they don't want to work for it. They want everybody to just serve them. It's like, yo, I am the king. I am the queen. Come serve me. What can you do for me? What prizes have you brought for me? What can you do for me? Impress me, wow me, it seems to be the mentality of a lot of youngsters. Obviously not all, because some of y'all are doing great things. But many of these youngsters who just try to go and take stuff, they do not understand that everybody ain't playing. Everybody is not going to say, oh, you know what? That was just a kid. Or I wonder how old he is before I shoot him. Let me ask him. Hey, sir, how old are you? 15. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and let you make it. No, man. People aren't taking any chances because a lot of these youngsters ain't taking any chances. A lot of these youngsters are shooting people, even when they comply. So it's like the mentality is, man, if I get the ups on anybody who's trying to down me, I got to get them before they get me. Y'all got too many options, man. There's really no excuses for not being able to earn a decent living, no matter where you live at in the country. With that internet, you can get money, man. I don't care where you live in the world. There's people in India, Bangladesh, these people who historically was just living way below the poverty line. I mean, some people living with dirt floors. But that internet opened everything up. Now them people living like kings over there now. They working, they getting it, they putting in the work. Now, this dude, the dude who who's in question here, who was charged. Here's the backstory. Dayton Napton shot and killed a burglar he caught breaking into his garage. This was last year. He's charged with manslaughter, assault, and attempt to murder, and several weapons offenses for the shooting last summer that killed 17-year-old Savon Wilson. The judge, Kelly Costin, said that the prosecution met its burden with all 4 counts. Now, here's what you gotta listen for, fam. Listen for the judge. Listen for the judge's temperament. Obviously, this is a very difficult case. You do have empathy and sympathy for the defendant, understanding that his property had been broken into at least twice prior to the incident. That right there is the statement that lets you know that this guy is either going to walk or he's going to be given a slap on the wrist. There are many people who are going to empathize and sympathize with him because people are tired of getting their stuff taken away and being taken advantage of. So it is going to be hard to find a jury that is going to judge him critically, especially for killing a black boy. Especially for killing a black boy. A white man killed a black boy who tried to steal from him. Ah, man. I'm surprised he's even charged. But the judge is giving you some insight on where she's going and what her temperament is going to be like, how she's going to rule on motions. She's going to be very lenient. I can promise you that. I'm surprised they charged him at all. I'm surprised they charged him at all. Now, here's the deal, fam. The judge, I do believe, is trying to save face. This is going to be a dog and pony show. This is, we're not going to per the law, he shouldn't have done that. Because, and let me say this, some of you have said, well, he have a right to do that, man. He's trying to steal his property. Well, he have a right. Well, check this out. So a Fox 2, this is a local Fox affiliate, legal analyst Charlie Langston said that while the law does allow you to protect yourself with deadly force, that does not apply to property. The law is very, very clear. You do not have a right to use deadly force to protect your property. Langston noted that a person has to be in imminent danger to utilize deadly force. The law says you can use deadly force to defend yourself, your body, against imminent physical harm or sexual abuse or in a vehicle. You cannot use deadly force to defend property. However, there are always that little wiggle room they use when you finally get there. If evidence is presented to a grand jury, sometimes a grand jury will decide to not indict. Other times, like this time, they will indict. So actually, let me back up. He's been charged, not indicted. He's been charged, not indicted. So the grand jury could decide that to not indict. But let me back up. It actually says, so I don't know what the rule is here, because I know the rule in Texas is that the grand jury has to choose to indict. You can be charged, but the grand jury has to be indict in order for the charges to go forward. Well, in this case, the judge said that the judge allowed the charges to stand, which means that the trial can go forward. So apparently the rules in Michigan apply a little differently from the rules in Texas. In any event, there's some little like token of responsibility here is what they're trying to hold this guy to. But as I said, they are not going to vigorously pursue prosecuting this dude. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that they will not vigorously pursue prosecuting this dude. And what's his name? His name is, what's his name? Napton, something Napton. Let me get it. Dayton Napton is his name. And check this out, family. So it was discovered that this dude was allegedly sleeping and he was knocked out. He had already had his property broken into twice. He'd already had things broken, the property broken into twice. And he claimed self-defense. Now, this is where it gets a little sticky. And this is where his character comes into question. He said that the boys rushed him. They came at him. That's what he said. They came at him. And that video clearly showed that he was lying. They were going in the opposite direction. Nobody even hesitated. As soon as they started hearing them gunshots, they started hauling ass up out of that garage. They went in the opposite direction. So he was never, his life was never threatened. He was never in any danger. He injected himself into the situation. And so he was out of harm's way. He put himself in harm's way. If he was in harm's way, he put himself in that position. So, and so he actually lied and said that he was rushed by these boys, that they came at him. Even if that was true, he still would have been out of pocket for going out there confronting them. Then he shot him in the back. You cannot shoot people in the back unless you're a police officer in the United States. You can't shoot nobody back. Only police can shoot you in the back and get away with it. Regular people, even if your life is, even if somebody beat you down and took off running, you can't just shoot them in the back. You going to jail unless you're a police officer. So they also said that the boy that died, he bled out for 30 minutes before he was found dead. He bled out for 30 minutes. And so that's that. Youngsters, I'm telling you, man, boy, if I was in y'all shoes today, boy, I would be unstoppable. Like nobody could stop me from getting money legitimately. Legitimate. I ain't got to do nothing slick. I ain't got to steal nothing, take nothing from nobody. I ain't got to sell no dope, none of that. It's too easy to make money. It's too easy. You got youngsters out here making $10 million a month. That internet, just using that internet. And the cold part about it is, you don't have to be particularly skilled in any industry. You can just jump on the internet and just start putting the work in and almost doing anything. Selling clothes, selling products, doing affiliate marketing. You can get you an Amazon affiliate account, and you can get on there and just start doing commentary, singing, dancing, juggling, talking, it's so many ways to get money, but you're going to have to be dedicated and you're going to have to be consistent. You got to put the work in. It ain't going to happen for you unless you do that. So there is no excuses. This youngster, it's RIP, but he brought that on himself. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.